Next part of material is liability of professionals. Now, if you're in my night class, we are going to talk about this actually on Wednesday night. If you are in my day class, we are not going to get to this. So if you're that excited about it, I guess either come to the night class or stop on my office hours and I'll tell you everything I know about it. But I'll tell you what you need to know for the exam because it is sort of similar things that we already talked about, which is one, identifying a professional. Professional is going to be somebody that has some type of expertise and holds themselves out there in a professional setting. An accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, a financial planner, a dentist, even potentially a plumber. Somebody that holds themselves out to have special knowledge is a certain trade. The other thing that's important is the negligence, the duty. And they have a duty of that of a reasonably competent professional in that community. And in that community is very important because it gets into the situation of knowing that saying, hey, if an attorney in this community wouldn't have known this, I will not be held to know. I will not be held to know that because in that community is an important aspect. So the last thing we talked about, and it looks like I'm still recording, so maybe Molly's got it figured out now. She's giving me the thumbs up, so I think I'm in good shape. She's the brains of the operation. I'm just a pretty face. She doesn't like that. She disagrees, but she's too quiet. Okay, anyway, last stuff. Business entities. We talked a little bit about this, or we're going to talk about this in both classes. First of those is a sole proprietor, which is basically the guy running out of the back, working out of the back of his car, right? The plumber working out of the back of his truck has no formal, no business formality, no nothing, just shows up and fix your cloggy sink. Sole proprietor. The next level is a partnership, which is going to be 2 or more sole proprietors. They can and probably should have a written agreement, but it's not required. All that's required is 2 people working together. The next one is a limited liability partnership or limited liability company. We talked about both of those, where there's going to be some type of formal requirements of filing documents, recording, registering it with the state. And it will set up a separate entity. And that's going to be an important discussion point as we go forward, is that separate entity. So it's not Jeff Hahn that owns my law building. It's Hahn Law Office. It's the Hahn Law Office LLC. That LLC owns the building. So it's a separate entity. That's an important aspect. Corporations, we talked about corporations. The most formal, right? Requires registration, requires annual meetings, requires a board of directors, all these type of things that are very formal. The most formal. We talked about subsection S and subsection C for the purposes of taxation and what the benefits and advantages of each of the entities are. And then we talked a little bit about the liability shield. The liability shield is, again, that separate entity. Sometimes it's called the empty chair. If you look in the kind of background here, we have the empty beach chair, right? That's the liability shield. I set up a company and I'm selling radios, whatever it is, and you want to sue me, I say, you got to sue the chair. Not Jeff Hahn, you sue the beach chair. Why? Because the beach chair may not own anything. Liability shield. It's shielding me from the activities of the beach chair. That's the theory of a liability shield. Last one is piercing the corporate veil, which again is if you fail to follow the formal requirements of an limited liability company or a limited liability partnership or the corporation, you can have what's called piercing the corporate veil, which means that creditors and injured people in torts can sue the people individually. So that they can pierce the veil, the corporate veil. Very big deal, which is why you need to follow the formal requirements. And as I said in class, or I will, because class is coming up on this stuff, most corporations do not do this. They're very bad at following corporate procedures, and almost all of them are at risk, at least small ones, not large ones, but small corporations are at a risk of being pierced, the corporate veil. that's what's I think is fair game on the test. If you have questions, zap me a text, give me a call. Well, you put my cell number up here again. I know you like to do that. And or zap me an email and my email address. And I'll help you however I can. And good luck. I hope you all enjoyed it. And you'll have to let me know if you thought this was helpful. I can do it again for next exam if you didn't think it was helpful. I won't waste my time. Okay, that's how we got. Thanks, good luck. And like I said, if you got questions, hit me up.